So the quest before us is how to boost the economy, pick it up out of the current slump, get it back on track, but without worsening the long-term outlook for the budget, and in particular the deficit and debt accumulation.
That's right. It is, as I said in the testimony, is a challenging task.
We've had recessions in the past. I guess 10 recessions since the Second World War. Few have enlisted the kind of response we're seeing today. Is this disproportionate? Are we overreacting? Or would we be risking some serious downturn and loss of control of the situation unless we acted?
So I think you're absolutely right. We have not seen fiscal stimulus on this scale proposed in these past downturns. There are two reasons why most economists thought that made sense then, but this makes sense now. One is that this downturn looks to be more severe. The collapse of leading financial institutions, the flight from risk-taking, has choked off credit that would normally flow to households and businesses. Tremendous losses in household wealth are holding down consumer spending and will do so for some time. Our overbuilding of housing in the past half dozen years means that even at the low levels of construction now, we have more houses than people want, and it will take some time to work that off. So housing will not provide support in the recovery. And moreover, the global economy is weakening. Forecasts of foreign economic growth in 2009 have been marked down by 2 percentage points just since last summer. So there are a number of reasons why this recession will be particularly deep in most economists' judgment, and why the recovery will be slow in most economists' judgment. The second general reason why most economists favor larger fiscal stimulus now than they have in these past recessions is that monetary policy has done a lot already to try to offset the weakness in the financial system, and has used up all of its principal tool, which is reductions in the federal funds rate, since that rate is now essentially at zero. That does not mean they're out of tools. As Chairman Bernanke has said very clearly, they have other tools. But these are untested tools, and they face difficulty in implementation. So economists see a more severe recession than we've had in the past, and less ability of the Federal Reserve to offset that. And that has led many people who did not support large fiscal stimulus even a year ago to support it today. There is uncertainty, of course, about these forecasts. CBO aims to have an economic forecast, and budget projections for that matter, for which the risks of the world turning out to be better or worse are approximately balanced. But most economists think that now the risk should not be viewed as balanced in a policy sense because of the limitations on what the Federal Reserve can do. If the economy were to boom again, the Federal Reserve could pull back on its special lending programs, and it could raise the federal funds rate. If the economy were to turn out much weaker than we expect, that would put even more pressure on a Fed that, as I've said, is already operating in very unfamiliar terrain. So that uncertainty and taking some insurance against that uncertainty is a further reason that economists, on I think a widespread basis, support large-scale fiscal stimulus now.
One final wrap-up question. In the past recessions since the Second World War, we've typically had certain sectors that lead us in and lead us out of recession: automotives, real estate, consumer expenditures. Today, automotives clearly are not going to lead us out of this recession in their current condition. Real estate is overhanging the market, and it's not going to lead us out of recession. Insofar as consumer expenditures are concerned, there's a huge wealth effect, negative wealth effect, due to the decline in real estate values, which is the principal asset that households have. And businesses aren't likely to invest in this kind of scenario, at least not in the near term. What else, other than our intervention, would begin to give us a kickstart to get out of this slump and back on the road to recovery?
I think you summarized the headwinds very aptly, Mr. Chairman. That is exactly why economists believe that some combination of additional government demand for goods and services and additional private demand spurred by tax reductions are necessary at this time to put the economy back on a path to recovery.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.